everyone, welcome back to It's a Twin Thing. It's Aspen, the best half of the Summers twins, and Ashley, Wait, you stole my thing! Well, you snooze, you lose. What do I say now? You say, hi everyone, it's Ashley, the lesser half of the Summers twins. Okay, hi everyone, it's Ashley, the lesser half of the Summers twins. You know what would be funny is if one time I said I was Ashley and you said you were Aspen and nobody would probably know. That would be funny. Okay, let's try it. Okay. But not this time, because then we'll know it. Oh, I thought we were just going to start over. No, we're just going to do it randomly and then we'll do like a giveaway prize. Yeah, I'll give you a $5 Red Lobster gift card. Yeah, I think you still have 2 Red Lobster gift cards that you got when you worked at Five Below like 500 years ago. Mm-hmm. Because when the store opened, there was a Red Lobster across the street from the store, and Red Lobster gave all the employees $5 gift cards, which, like, what are you going to buy at Red Lobster for $5? But I don't eat at Red Lobster, so now I just have 2 $5 Red Lobster gift cards that I've been trying to get rid of. So if anyone wants a Red Lobster gift card, then guess which episode we switch names in. But we haven't done it yet, so don't guess now. Yeah. Well, I guess we should jump into our episode today. Mm-hmm. We are talking about overrated and underrated things because in life you just come across a lot of things that people just don't give enough credit to, and then a lot of other things where you're like, I don't understand why this is so amazing to everyone. So we're sharing our opinions on what is overrated and what is underrated. But if you think something that we say is overrated is really, really good, don't be offended because we're not saying that it's not. We're just saying it's our opinion. Also, you're probably going to be mad because all of the things Aspen thinks are overrated are things that most people in the world really like. No, well, we had to record this episode once already and then the audio was bad, so we're doing it again. But I only had one thing that was overrated that everyone else likes, and you had 2 of the other things. Really? Yeah. Oh, I don't remember any of them. All I remember is that you said pizza. Yeah, well, we can start with that, and then I'll remind you of the other 2. Except you got really offended last night that everyone thinks you don't like pizza, so now you're going to share with the whole world how you hate pizza. But I don't hate pizza. I just think it's overrated. That's the thing, is I don't hate it. I will eat pizza. I just think it's overrated. She just hates the cheese and the dough. I don't hate the dough. I just don't like the crust. Most people don't, well, not most people, but a lot of people don't eat the crust on their pizza. I don't know why. I think pizza crust is the best part of the pizza. Ugh. I like when you get wood-fired pizza and the crust gets burnt. Oh my gosh, that's weird. Okay, so let me explain why I think pizza is overrated. It is true. I don't really like cheese on my pizza. But no. I'm sorry, I'll put a marshmallow in my mouth. Okay, you do that. I do like pizza, but Ashley's eating her fake marshmallow in her mouth right now. She's making funny faces. The extent to which people like pizza just behooves me a little bit because, for example, the other day in one of my classes, my professor was trying to get us to do something. I don't remember what it was, but she was like, pretend that you are eating your favorite dessert. And nobody gave any sort of reaction. And then she was like, okay, pretend you're eating your favorite kind of pizza. And everyone was like, oh, yum, pizza, And when we do our stage bugs classes, all the kids always want to play this would you rather game where we say, like, if you would rather do blah, 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 go to this side. And if you'd rather do X, Y, Z, go to this side. And so sometimes I'll say, if you would rather go get ice cream, go to this side. If you would rather go get pizza, go to that side. And everybody, without fail, always goes to the pizza side. Not everybody. But a vast majority of them. And so what I don't understand is how pizza is so much more enjoyable than a dessert, because the way that I see it is that pizza is a fun dinner. Pizza would be more fun than having chicken and rice for dinner, but you still have to eat dinner, so you're still doing something that you have to do every day. But going to get ice cream is like a fun, special event that you don't have to eat ice cream. You don't have to have dessert. That's why I just think it's overrated, because it's just not that good. Personally, I don't think it's any better than like Christmas Eve soup or Christmas Day pierogies, or I just think that it's a good dinner, but it's not so much outrageously better than other things. You know what I learned the other day?
What?
Every day, 13% of people in America are eating pizza.
What?
I just am surprised at how much people like pizza when I think it's just above average, but not better than ice cream.
I think that the reason a lot of people love pizza is because they love the, like, cheesy greasiness of it. Because you don't like cheese on your pizza, I think that you miss that. I mean, not you miss it, but, like, I think that it doesn't have as much of an appeal to you because it's just, like, it's not much different than a sandwich or something where you would put vegetables and sauce. Like, it's just dough with sauce and vegetables or whatever. But I do really like red sauce, and you don't like the sauce. I like the sauce fine. I just think it's the least good part. I agree with you that I think it's interesting to me when people's most favorite foods are something like pizza or steak or something as opposed to ice cream or animal crackers or things like that that are just more fun and special. But I guess for some people it's just pizza or a hamburger or something is more fun and special. But I guess there's like this huge obsession with pizza, and people really like hamburgers, but they don't have as much of an obsession. Like, it's not such a big thing to just be like, oh, hamburgers. So I wonder how pizza became such a big, huge thing.
But you know what you said yesterday that was kind of blasphemous?
What?
Well, this is kind of a dilemma for me because I love to bake for people, and usually the things that I make don't come out very good. But I make this French bread that my dad and my sister really, really love. So we were visiting home to do a stage bugs class over the weekend. And while we were home, I made some of my French bread that they really like. And Ashley had a piece warm out of the oven. And she was like, this is just so good. I probably like this as much as I like ice cream. But I think it tastes like baking soda. And it doesn't even have baking soda in it. And it's really funny because usually I like bread a lot more than Ashley does, but I just don't think this bread is appealing at all. Ice cream is my second favorite food in the whole world, so I just
What's your first?
Z-bars.
Oh. I think that's way weirder than pizza.
I know, but I really think Cliff should sponsor us because the amount of love that I have for Cliff bars is, I think they are underrated. People just don't understand how good they are.
I mean, I do really like Z-bars, but I just think it's a lot weirder if someone says, what's your favorite food, and you say Z-bars, as opposed to if someone says, what's your favorite food, and you say pizza.
I 100% acknowledge that it's weird, but I think that it's justified. People just don't know. They don't have enough experience with Z-bars, and they have too much experience with pizza.
Too much experience with pizza.
The thing about this bread is that I used to like bread, but the past few months I have had a really big bread aversion, and I really just don't like bread. But for some reason, this bread that Aspen makes is so good, and when it's like warm and fresh out of the oven, it's just so nice and warm and lovely and homey. And I don't even know why, because I never thought I would be like so in love with a piece of bread, but it's just so good and it just makes me happy. I mean, I still really love ice cream, but I have to say something that you might disown me as your sister.
Oh, I don't want to hear it.
I'm a little bit worried that I'm starting to like sweets a lot less than I did.
I wish everyone could see my face right now.
It makes me really sad because I've just always loved sweets so much, and I think it's so weird when people are like, I'm just not a sweets person. But I think I've just had too many sweets, and especially lately, I've just had a really hard time having the energy to cook. So I just am like, oh, I need energy. I'm going to have a bowl of animal crackers or a piece of candy or something. I feel like I just don't love them as much as I did. So maybe I need to take a break from them, and then I'll get my love of them back. But
I hope so.
Me too. I mean, it's not good for my like bloodstream and stuff, but
it's good for your heart.
Yeah.
You want to know another interesting fact that has to do with French bread and pizza?
Uh-huh.
So I was listening to this Business Wars podcast, and they were talking about the origins of pizza in America, because pizza in America is very different than Italian pizza. And they said that when the brothers that started Pizza Hut decided to open a pizzeria, they didn't know how to make pizza. and this guy came to teach them, but he forgot the recipe for Italian pizza dough, so he taught them a French bread recipe to use as the crust. Isn't that so interesting?
So weird. So is that where French bread pizza came from? Or that's what all pizza dough is like French bread?
I mean, all pizza dough is different, so I don't think all pizza dough is, but I think they made it as a dough, not like as a loaf of bread.
So did America learn the right recipe for pizza dough, or that's how they still make it?
Well, I don't know that far.
Oh.
But that's what I'm saying is all pizza dough is a little bit different.
Yeah,
But now that I think about it, when I make homemade pizza crust, it has the exact same ingredients as when I make that French bread.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Interesting. We're going to have to do some experimenting with this.
Yeah.
Research, and we'll update everybody on what we find out.
Okay, so the two things that you said on the last time we recorded this, you think that coffee and beer are overrated?
I said beer?
Yeah.
Oh, huh.
But don't worry, we're not drinking beer.
No, it was non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah, but you said beer first.
Oh.
And then...
Okay, well, first of all, on the coffee thing, actually, I think decaf coffee is overrated. That's what I think is weird, because I can understand the desire to drink coffee because you need caffeine, but I feel like most people don't like the taste of coffee, which I'm sure there's some people who love it, but I feel like most people I talk to are like, I don't like the taste, I just drink it because I need coffee. But also there's so many people that are just like, I can't survive without my coffee. I always am drinking coffee. I drink 10 cups of coffee a day. And I just think that's so funny, because how can you stand the taste of it for that long? I don't feel like coffee really gives me that much more energy. I think I'm immune to caffeine.
I feel like it either has no impact on me or it makes me so jittery and I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no in between, because, I mean, I don't consume caffeine that often, but I'll have the same amount of something with caffeine in it, and one day I think I'm going to die, and then I'm like, I can't have this ever again, and then I do, and then it does nothing. Yeah.
That's so interesting.
I know.
But I just think it's strange that people would want to drink coffee that didn't have caffeine in it, because then there's no purpose to it. I mean, obviously they like the taste of it. I feel like coffee doesn't taste good. But the problem is I love the smell of coffee, but it tastes so different, and I really don't like the taste of it.
There's so many things that smell a lot better than they taste. I don't want to name things, but I feel like sandwich shops and soft pretzel / cinnamon roll places always smell really
that's
good.
That's true.
And
no one will have any idea what places you're talking about.
I don't think that the things that they sell don't taste good, but it just doesn't taste as incredible as when you smell it. Because like when you bake gingerbread cookies or something, your kitchen smells so good, but then you eat it and it tastes as good as it smells.
Yeah.
So then when it doesn't, it's just disappointing.
To be honest, sometimes I think ice cream shops smell better than the ice cream tastes.
Yeah.
Like, not even necessarily better, but they just have that, like, amazing smell, but nothing tastes like that. I think the smell is the waffle cones.
Oh, it probably is.
Well, I guess I've never had a waffle cone, so I can't really say.
I've had a waffle cone. I didn't think it was the most amazing thing ever, but I also had it with pineapple ice cream. So
that's weird.
Well, I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't know that the only cones that they had were waffle cones until after I picked my flavor, so...
Okay, no, go ahead.
Oh, I was also going to say on the coffee thing that a lot of people say that they drink so much coffee, but they're like, I just drink it all the time, so it doesn't give me any more energy, so then I don't understand what's the point of drinking it.
I guess maybe it's the same as drinking tea without caffeine, but I don't know, tea is just different. Okay, then the beer thing, I just don't really understand non-alcoholic beer, because that's like a similar thing as the coffee, is that beer tastes putrid, and I don't feel like most people, well, I feel like most people don't like the taste of beer, except that I also feel like some people are just always wanting to drink a beer, and they're not necessarily getting drunk off of it. So maybe they like the taste of it, but I just can't fathom how they would.
I would just like to clarify that Ashley's only tasted non-alcoholic beer.
No, that's not true.
Oh.
One time we were at a party or something, and I drank a bunch of beers. Like when we were little, we were at an adult party, and someone let me taste their beer.
One of our parents.
Yeah.
Or like some random adult was just like, here, little baby Ashley, have a beer.
Well, I didn't know if it was like one of our parents or like our aunt or something. I don't know. Anyways, I tasted beer. So I don't understand non-alcoholic beer, because then why not just drink soda or something that tastes good as opposed to this putrid thing? My understanding is that the point of drinking beer is the alcohol. So if you're drinking it without alcohol, I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't remember the taste of it. Like, I remember that we did taste the non-alcoholic beer. I don't remember how it tasted, but the other day you poured a bottle of beer on me and it smelled.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did, because remember we were doing this trash pickup volunteer thing.
Oh.
There was a bottle of beer on the ground, and Ashley thought it was empty, and she had this grabber thing, and I had the trash bag, and she picked it up upside down, and then when she picked it up, it spilled all over me.
You made it sound like I threw a drink in your face.
No, but you still poured it out on me, and it was the most awful smelling thing ever, so I can't imagine that it tastes that phenomenal.
Yeah. I think when I am old enough to drink, which will be in like 9 months. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, I could have a baby before then. I think that when I'm old enough to drink, I will have to have like slushies or like strawberry daiquiris. I think a strawberry daiquiri is the first thing I'm gonna have, because I used to love that strawberry daiquiri soapy water.
I think we talked about this on our 20th birthday episode.
Oh, okay, then cut that out.
I mean, you can still share.
No, that's okay. Okay, should we talk about things that are underrated now?
Let's do it.
Okay, the things that I think are underrated are babies and puppies.
They are not underrated. People love babies and puppies.
But not enough.
Not as much as you, because you love them to an extremely creepy level.
It's not creepy, it's just normal.
You say at least 12 times a day how much you want a baby, and I cut it out a lot of times so you guys haven't heard it, but every single episode that we record, she says, if anyone has any babies that they don't want lying around, let me know.
That's not true. I think that I have some sort of hormonal imbalance that's giving me raging baby fever.
One thing that I think is underrated is the state of Ohio.
Oh yeah, me too.
Because everyone's always like, oh, Ohio's so boring. Oh. I do really good impressions.
Yeah,
of
you
people.
do.
We have family that lives in Ohio, and so I have been there to visit for Christmas and family things, but never just to explore the state. So we went to visit my godmother last spring break, and I was excited to see her, but I was like, I don't really know what we're going to do. It's going to feel like a really long trip, and everyone kept being like, what do you want to do while you're in Ohio? And I was like, I don't know. There's nothing to do in Ohio. But it was actually really, really, really fun. And part of it was because we were visiting family, and so just seeing them was fun. But there was a lot of really cool things to do. First of all, I mean, I know that you guys probably think I'm just like a sugar junkie because that's all I talk about.
I mean, you are.
I am. They had the biggest candy store in the United States. That's a literal fact.
Yeah, it's for real.
But it was so cool. First of all, it was so adorable because they had all of this really cute stuff on the outside and like figurines on the inside. And then they had this ice cream fountain place inside that was like an ice cream cafe, and they had ice cream spaghetti and ice cream hot dog. It didn't have meat or spaghetti.
Yeah, it was like made of ice cream.
It was like a brownie with ice cream in the middle that was made to look like a hot dog.
And the chairs were swings.
Uh-huh. And they had this whole figurine diorama thing that was like this big amusement park that used to be in Ohio in the olden days.
Which I think they should rebuild, because then that would be like the ultimate destination in America.
Yeah.
I think BA Sweeties, that's the name of the candy shop. I think they should sponsor us.
We're just really making this an ad. We're like,
yeah,
oh, they should sponsor us. Also, their candy was so cheap.
And they had like every single kind of candy in the entire world.
Except for the Mr. Nielsen candy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's this candy that we used to have, well, not used to. We still have family friends in Sweden, and they used to send us this candy that it's actually, I think it's like Marlboro Zoo candy or something, but we call it Mr. Nielsen candy.
Not Marlboro, whatever that is, because that's a cigarette brand.
Oh.
But I think it's something Zoo candy.
Yeah, it's something that starts with an M.
And they're like these red
little monkeys.
But they're not licorice. They're
like berry.
Yeah. They're probably akin to a Swedish fish, but a different texture.
So if anyone knows where to get some of those, let us know. But besides that, they had every kind of candy in the world. It was really amazing.
The weather in Ohio was pretty nice. Like, it rained, but then it would also be nice weather.
Yeah, it was like perfect go for a walk weather.
Yeah.
I mean, not as good as Colorado weather.
But it was a lot better than people act like it is.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we didn't end up going downtown because Ashley got sick.
We say that all the time. We didn't do this because Ashley got sick. Ashley got sick when we were here.
But we were going to, and it seemed like it was going to be really fun. And they had, like, the Christmas Story house there.
They did?
Yeah.
Aw, I want to see that. We'll have to go when we go for our 21st birthday.
Oh, I thought we were going to Iowa for our 21st birthday. And then we were going to go to Ohio for the Twinsburg Festival in August. Because they also have the Twinsburg Festival there. And then we were going to go to Cedar Point.
Yeah, they have that in Ohio too.
Mm-hmm.
Which I've never been to Cedar Point, but it's supposedly really fun.
Except for that, their roller coaster, the tallest roller coaster there, got stuck the other day.
Well, we don't have to go on.
Yeah, but if you're going to go to Cedar Point, you got to go on that.
I think Ohio also has a holiday-themed amusement park.
Oh, I thought that was in Indiana.
Oh, maybe it is. The Holiday Land Park is in Indiana. It's in Santa Claus, Indiana, which sounds like somewhere that we need to visit.
We've been there.
To Santa Claus, Indiana?
We went to Holiday World.
No, we went to Kings Island.
Oh, we haven't been there. JK.
I think Kings Island is in Ohio. Okay, sorry, I'll look at that later.
That's okay. Do you think that roller coasters are overrated or underrated?
I think they're practically rated. Except for, like, upside-down roller coasters. Sometimes I think those are overrated. I had a very traumatic experience on an upside-down roller coaster, so I really don't like them. I will only go on them at Disney World.
If you want to hear more about that, listen to our Irrational Fears episode.
Oh, did we talk about it?
Yeah, we did.
I'm losing my memory, everybody. Like, for real, I am. So I will probably all the time be like, did we talk about that? Did that really happen?
Memory is underrated. Kids who have good memory don't even know.
I know.
I think that kiddie coasters are underrated, though.
Yeah.
Especially the Barnstormer at Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the quote-unquote kiddie coaster, but it's literally more fun than the Seven Doors Mine Train. And I don't mean that just because I'm a scaredy cat or anything. I mean that it literally goes faster and is more thrilling than the 3-hour-long mine train ride.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know if technically it's faster, but it feels a lot faster and always has a way shorter line. And if you go at night, you can usually get on in like 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, so do that.
Okay, you know what else I think is underrated, speaking of kids, or kiddie things? Teachers.
Oh my gosh, I agree.
I know that people always say, like, oh, we appreciate teachers and stuff, but I think that people really don't understand. I mean, I'm sure I don't understand because I'm not a teacher, but I cannot even imagine being a teacher.
If anyone should get paid $1 million a year, it's teachers.
Yeah, for real. We had a 3.5-hour stage bugs class on Friday. I mean, we love teaching the classes and stuff, but we had 8 kids there, and they were insane for 3.5 hours, running around like wild animals. We could not keep them under control. And I mean, we did. They were fine, but it was just like madness. And we were like, how on earth does one teacher, because there were 2 of us there, one teacher in a classroom with 18 or 25 or 30 kids, keep them under control and like actually get them to learn things? Because if we didn't get done what we needed to get done, like they just needed to learn a song and dance, but teachers actually have to teach them how to read and write and things like that. And I just don't even know how on earth they do it.
Yeah, I mean, you make it sound like we have absolutely no control over the kids. We have them under control, but it's just if you aren't 100% on top of everything at every second, then you're just going to end up with a room full of screaming kids running around like crazy. It doesn't really feel that different to me, at least when we have 8 kids versus when we have 20, but there is 2 of us, and I just don't even know how teachers can, for 8 hours a day, every single day, control that many kids all by themselves and like teach them stuff. Because when we do camps, obviously it's every day, it's not just once in the evening, but it is so exhausting after the 2-week camp. We will just be like dead and we just need it to be the weekend because otherwise we're gonna pass out.
And teachers have to do it week after week after week for the entire school year.
Yeah, and we only do it for 6 weeks. I always loved my teachers, but I don't think until we started Stage Bugs I ever even considered the full extent of how tough of a job that must be. Hopefully teachers like their jobs, but I also think they're just crazily underappreciated and don't get enough credit.
And underpaid. I think they should be the highest paid profession.
Because think about it, if there weren't teachers, then none of these billion trillionaires would have success, especially elementary school teachers.
I mean, I think middle school is probably really hard to teach, and I think that high school teachers also deserve the same amount of appreciation, but I think that teaching elementary school it seems like that would be the hardest because it's...
High schoolers at least know when you're talking to them, like they seem like they have a consciousness.
Yeah, and they have a little bit more awareness of how to act in a classroom, and obviously there are high school students who don't behave, but they aren't screaming their heads off and running around the room, and at least they already know how to read and write and stuff.
But I also imagine teaching middle school and high school would be challenging in different ways, especially having so many students throughout the day, because when you're an elementary school teacher and you have the same class, then at least you get to know a little bit better how to reach each kid versus when you have 200 students and then 200 papers to grade every night. To teach 200 students or 150 or however many they have probably just be super difficult because you don't get as much time to figure out what makes each kid tick. Well, it's 4:59 and we have church at 5.
Being on time is overrated.
Being on time is underrated.
Yeah, I know. We're terrible at it.
I try so hard. But we're going to try to not be super late to church, so we shall sign off for today. Saying funny words like shall is also underrated.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for listening. Also, another thing that's underrated is sharing our podcast with your friends because they will probably love you more. So please share and subscribe if you haven't already. And we will talk to you next time.